I'm not really sure what I want to talk about today, so let's bring out my idea hat. I don't talk about this often, but this is a little hat I have. It's full of different topics, and it's just really helpful for finding a stress-free way to just find something fun to talk about. So let's dig in here and open one up, and it looks like we've got, okay, race. This one says race. You know what? Let's try another one. That's not going to be fun. How about IQ? Shit. Hold on. Let's just try one more here. Religion. Okay, just one more. One more. It's got to be a good one in here. Criminal justice reform. That's right, today we're talking about a single study that combines race, IQ, criminal justice reform, and religion, a bunch of topics that are rife with misinformation, poorly defined, scientifically complicated, and a surefire way to start a lot of fun arguments in the comments. So let's get into it. Back in January, Psychological Science published a paper titled Declines in Religiosity Predict Increases in Violent Crime, but not among countries with relatively high average IQ. Authored by Corey Clark, Roy Baumeister, Bo Weingard, and a couple of other people. The authors argue that societies with, and I quote, more cognitively gifted citizens don't require religion in order to be peaceful, while societies with, quote, relatively lower average IQs benefit from religion regulating their violent behaviors. They say that this, quote, raises questions about how secularization might differently affect groups of different mean cognitive ability. Perhaps then, they write, highly educated and intelligent groups should be humble about promoting the unique and relatively novel values that thrive among them, and perhaps should be cautious about mocking certain cultural narratives and norms that are perceived as having little value in their own society. It's truly stunning to see someone admonish intelligent groups for mocking religion in the midst of a paper that is literally arguing that religion is good for keeping stupid people from murdering each other. Hey, atheists, I know you want to laugh about how fake religion is, but did you ever stop and think that maybe without belief in God, a bunch of dum-dums are going to start stabbing each other? Yeah. Thought so. Maybe try to be a little humble next time. As you may have already guessed from my dismissive tone, this paper is trash. Luckily, enough people read it and pointed out that it was trash that the authors themselves decided to retract it, leading to a lot of racists crying that the politically correct mafia has come for them. First, they came for the phrenologists, and I did not speak out because the bumps on my head meant that I was superior to phrenologists anyway, etc. But yeah, it turns out that their data was based on some highly questionable, in their own words, sources. Their data on IQ was based on a variety of different measures, some of which were IQ tests, but more of which were things like school assessment studies. They estimated an average IQ for each country, which is problematic enough, but then for countries where they had no data, they simply imputed data from countries nearby. For instance, if they didn't have data for the United States, then they could just average together Canada and Mexico, and bam, you've got a science study going, baby. They did the same thing for homicide data. Don't know a country's average homicide rate? Just guess based on the countries around it. How different could it be? Those are the ostensible reasons that the study was pulled, but experts like Andrew Gelman, a statistician at Columbia, point out that even aside from that bad data from bad sources, how on earth could anyone draw the conclusion that, and I quote, The prescriptive values of highly educated groups, such as secularism, but also libertarianism, criminal justice reform, and unrestricted sociosexuality, among others, may work for groups that are highly cognitively sophisticated and self-controlled, but they may be injurious to groups with lower self-control and cognitive ability. Like, even if you believe that, first of all, entire countries or groups, wink wink, are smarter than other entire countries or groups, and if you believe that those dumber groups benefit more from religion when it comes to violence, how on earth does it follow that those dumber groups would not also benefit from things like criminal justice reform and unrestricted sociosexuality? I'm sorry you guys are dumb, Vatican City, but you have religion. If you try to have casual sex or ask the cops to stop beating the shit out of people, you're probably going to be worse off because you have no self-control. Because you're stupid. Looking at you, the Pope. I do have to say that I'm slightly impressed the authors decided to retract their own study before psychological science got the chance. But I'm not sure that these researchers are walking away from this with a better, more nuanced understanding of IQ, religion, racism, xenophobia, or statistics. I say that because of the fact that one scientist, Roy Baumeister, made waves by arguing quite vociferously that women were only in the sciences because male scientists wanted to fuck them, and now that they're in there, they're getting way too much acclaim. Another, Bo Weingard, is a fan of some, let's say, interesting hypotheses regarding race and IQ, like the fact that he's a fan of the white supremacist cold winter hypothesis that suggests white people are naturally smarter than black people because it takes more intelligence to survive a European winter than it does to live in Africa. Sometimes a bias is just so ingrained that it's going to take more than an entire internet of statisticians pointing out your mistakes to change someone's mind. Still, I look forward to seeing this paper properly martyred by Nazis, Joe Rogan fans, and whatever intellectual dark web heroes have yet to give themselves brain damage. When you hear them cry about the SJWs, remember that the SJWs in this case were statisticians who care about those hot social justice topics, accurate data, and conclusions that properly follow from a premise.